So our first story is going to be about the 2016 Republican candidates, and Ryan is bringing that to us. What do you have for us, Ryan?
Hello. Well, I think there used to be a very clear front runner in Chris Christie, and it looked like he was basically the Republicans' Hillary, like he was going to absolutely dominate. And then he's had this Bridgegate scandal, and all of the establishment money that actually picks in the primaries has like left him. And so now they're mainly looking at Jeb Bush. They don't like Rand Paul that much. They think Ted Cruz is too crazy. Um, it looks like Mitt Romney has kind of flirted with possibly getting back in, but I don't think he'd ever be able to get the money behind him again. So it looks like they're kind of pulling for Jeb Bush, and I think they're also. I know the Florida governor, I forget his name. It looks like he's interested too. He might be able to pull the, real primary. But I think it's really interesting because I don't think Jeb Bush could win a general election. He's got the Bush last name. He's very milk toast, boring, and well, actually for a Republican, he's kind of sane. Like he said recently, like we shouldn't hate illegal immigrants or something like really benign like that, and like he got so much shit for it.
Yeah, that
So
he would never win the primary.
well, that's the thing. Like he went with the activists, but I mean, nobody thought like none of the activists wanted Mitt Romney. Whoever has the money will win the primary.
Okay, that's a fair point. Um,
But yeah, like he will not be loved, and that's the thing.
right.
Like he may win the primary, but since he won't win the actual like hardcore activists, they
Mhm.
won't turn out the way they need to against somebody like Hillary.
Well, in the last election, I kind of thought that Rick Perry was going to go somewhere at the very start, just because there was so much excitement about him. He was
Yeah.
an idiot, hands down, an idiot. But everywhere you turn, people are like bowing down to him and going, "Oh, he's so awesome."
Yeah.
Really?
Do you remember
No.
that revival thing he did?
Yeah, that was a travesty and just an awful thing.
No, he's so hilarious. Have you seen him recently? He's probably gonna run too. He's come back out. He was so ashamed because he messed up, forgetting the three branches of government wanted to close in the debate. And
Yeah, I
he
remember
come,
that.
yeah, and this is so great. He's come back out like
Uh-huh.
he's the new Rick Perry, and he's smart, and he
Because he wears glasses now.
it's like an idiot. Like, how do I show people I'm smart? Well, I'll put glasses on.
When it comes time for him to throw his hat in the ring, he'll wear a pocket square too, I bet, or he'll break it down to a monocle. No, the thing about Rick Perry, it's so beautiful, is that the more he talks, the more tired he gets, and just the stupider he sounds, or the more you can hear how intelligent he really is.
Do you know? I know what actually happened. Well, I guess I listened to the audiobook of Double Down, I think it's called. It's about the election that just happened.
Hmm.
And he has, or at least had, like a terribly bad back issue, like back injury, and
Like
he had
Kennedy, right?
yeah, and he had like a major surgery around then, and he was like they remember there was like clips, and he like seemed like he was drunk.
Yeah. Was he on
Like,
painkillers at that point?
exactly.
Okay. I mean, that's fine and acceptable. I mean, if you need medication, take it. But, uh, I mean, if you're just not up for the task of a full debate,
Yeah. How
I
can you run?
mean, I guess it kind of sounds weak to back out, but if you can't do it, just say you can't do it. I would respect a candidate that much more for going, hey, I've had some back surgery. I do believe in modern medicine, and it's not suggested that I stay up here for this long.
Yeah, the thing about that is like they jump all over him about like having health
Yeah.
issues, and but yeah, I get your point. Like he was in a no-win situation. I guess I'm not
Mm.
saying like it's all like he's an idiot too. It just he sounded like a drunk idiot.
Right. I mean, Chris Christie is a fun story. If he were not a politician and he ran a pizzeria, or I mean, that sounds a little bit racist towards Italians, but no, if he was just an average guy, I would probably like him to an extent. I wouldn't want to hang out with him, but the story when he's talking to the woman Gail, and she asked him where his kids are going to school at, and he goes, hey, I don't ask you where you send your kids to school at, so don't ask me about mine. What a dick.
Yeah,
But
and it's like,
I like the edge though. That's what draws me towards him. I'm sure that's what draws a lot of people towards him.
yeah. Like he's certainly interesting and charismatic, but like that's so insane. Like Gale isn't, the governor.
Right. Gail's just this average person who lives in his state and unfortunately got shut down hard and it went viral.
Yep.
But
Like
if you're a politician, you should probably talk to your citizens a little bit better because when it does go viral, people are going to see that well, you're just a big old dick.
yeah, that's the thing. Like the reason he was such like everyone was betting on him is like he's like straight up establishment. Like he before he was governor, he never won an election. Like he tried to be a freeholder in New Jersey, which is like really low level like
Mm.
local government, and lost. And he became a lobbyist. And then when Bush
Mm.
was president, he became the attorney for United States attorney for New Jersey. And
Mm.
from there, he went to governor. And so like he was a lobbyist, so the rich people like him, and he's an asshole, so the Republican base likes him. So he
Right.
would dominate. But like so those are like the candidates that may have a chance of winning, but then there's
Mm.
the Republican sideshow. So we have
Like
I'm almost
Rubio,
yeah. Well, poor Rubio. Like
he's an idiot.
he is, but like he was a rising star. Like in Bobby Jindal, poor milk toast Bobby Jindal. I remember when people were talking about him so much, and he did like the response to an Obama State of the Union, and
Mm.
it was so painful and like people give him the benefit of doubt by throwing his name around, but nobody thinks he'll ever win
Yeah,
anything.
I don't. I mean, I wouldn't want his picture to be the face of our nation. Not saying that he's a horribly ugly guy, but he doesn't look like he exudes power. Um, and I would hate for him to go through the same mud bog as what President Obama did, where people ask him, "Well, where's your birth certificate?" Because his parents were immigrants; they came from India. Um, and they're going to do the same thing on our side as well, the Democratic side. They're going to drag his name through the mud, and I would really hate for that to happen. And while I would think that they wouldn't, I wouldn't put it past people to do that.
I'm sure there'd be a little bit, but you wouldn't get any mainstream
Definitely
Democrat.
not like Tea Party. Definitely no.
Yeah,
But I just don't want that for people to happen. Maybe I'm just too good at heart for to wish that it doesn't happen to him. But I think it would if he does run for president.
yeah. I think like he'd be willing to take it, but
So why are you sad about old Marco Rubio?
because I guess I just feel bad for him because he seemed like such a rising star, and he's like nothing now. I always feel bad for people that fall so far.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then there's old Ted Cruz, and I hope to God he runs. Like he's interesting.
How
I
so?
guess like during that before that whole government debate shut down, he
Mm-hmm.
really seemed like he could be dangerous. Like he was very he used all these weasel words to like talk about Obama and stuff, but he's like a piece of shit, but like sometimes like he's a normal, decent person.
Ah.
And he just he seems much more clever than you'd think someone like him is. But
Mm.
I think the way he did the government shutdown, all it did was strengthen him with the activists and hurt him with
Right.
everybody else. So he's no
Mm.
real danger. He's just another loon.
As far as Mitt Romney goes about him possibly throwing his hat back into the ring, I really don't see it. I mean, how many candidates have there been in the past couple of elections where they didn't win the election, but they won their party's primary, and then they come back the next election and run again. Are there a lot?
There aren't a lot, but it has happened before.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it has, but I mean, I really don't see Mitt Romney going through it all again. I mean, I just imagine all the stories that'll pop up of what he's been saying about the American people since he, went out of the spotlight. How many more banquets has he done where the waiters have recorded him saying that the American people are pieces of shit? So, I mean,
Yeah.
that boggles my mind. As soon as that came out, everybody's like, "Oh no, I kind of forget." No, no. If you call the people who are voting for you and giving you money a piece of shit, well, you probably shouldn't deserve to represent them.
Well, he was saying that about everyone that wouldn't vote for him. Like literally half the country that wouldn't vote for him.
Right. 50, like what, 57%?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you don't sway people to vote for you by calling them a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Because especially, and this is a huge problem that is coming out, is people who are in power, they run their mouth, and then they get caught in the act of saying it, like Brandon Eich from Mozilla. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then when he gets his wrist slapped, or his entire company, or the people